Hi, everyone. Welcome to Kiki and Kibitz. It's Mary, and I'm here with this week's edition of 90 Days and 900 Seconds Before the 90 Days, Season 6, Episode 3, Overboard. And let me tell you, after watching this episode, I'm about to throw myself overboard. If I was going to give this episode a grade, I would give it a solid C minus. This cast is starting to grate my nerves. Let's set 900 seconds on the timer and dive right in. Amanda and Razvan. So it's the morning after, but not what you think. They didn't have sex. They cuddled. Amanda kept her socks on and she gave him a hickey. She got horny in the middle of the night and started sucking on his neck. Yes, you heard me right. She started sucking on his neck and gave him a hickey. And when he complained that she teased him, threw him a bone, she said, well, you could have went to the bathroom with your box of tissues. Yeah, real classy girl. Okay, so Amanda's full of mixed emotions about leaving her children still. And, being with Razvan, considering that she's a new widow. Now, I get the mixed emotions, but I still say that she should have worked out all this stuff before she traveled all the way to Romania. Because now, only 90 Day Fiance would make me feel sorry for the shirtless TikTok content creator. I'm actually feeling sorry for Razvan. Okay, because I feel like she's playing with his emotions, and I will tell you why. So after they cuddled with her socks on, and she gave him a hickey, he was like, "Let me take you out on the town. I'm going to take you to go see Old Town. We're going to have a nice day together." Right before they were going to leave, she got a phone call from her children, and Razvan was talking to her son, and he just suddenly, her son blurted out, Dad died. Okay, first of all, I would like to point out that her son is 4 years old. Okay. And secondly, yes, Dad did die. And it is very fresh to this 4-year-old little boy. So it is not unexpected that this 4-year-old little boy would blurt out, Dad just died. So now she is feeling very guilty and very sad, and she is letting this cloud hang over her. And Razvan is doing whatever he can to try to, make her feel comfortable. I mean, she has traveled all the way to Romania to see him, and he's doing whatever he can to try to make her feel comfortable. But you could see the awkwardness in her. And it is just like, woman, honestly, you should have worked all this out before you traveled all the way to Romania and played with this man's emotions, because only 90 Day Fiance can make me feel sorry for a shirtless TikTok content creator. Okay. So they're walking around Old Town and he's showing her the sights. And she's like, her body language speaks volumes. She is so awkward. And it's like she's, to me, thinking to herself, holy shit, I'm actually living my fairy tale. I have to go through with this. And yes, there's an actual human being that you have to consider, Amanda. There is another human being involved. Okay. So they go to a place to get some drinks, and he gives her the key to his house. Okay. And she's like, I'm not going to need the key because I'm not going to be here for that long. And he's like, well, I got my tourist visa. I could come with you and, come back with you right after you leave. And she's like, hold up. Wait a minute. What are we talking about here? We never discussed this. I never said I was taking you back to the States with me. Hold up. Wait a minute. I have my children to consider before you come back with me to the States. How do you, what do I know? How my children are going to feel about this? My children, my children, my children. Well, Amanda, were you thinking about your children when you decided you were traveling to Romania for 3 weeks? Now that Razvan is like, I'll come back with you on my tourist visa, it's all, hold up. Wait a second. So, I don't know. I think Amanda needs to come to terms with herself, comes to terms with her grief, what she really wants, and realize that there is a whole nother shirtless TikTok content creator that she needs to worry about as well in his feelings. Just saying. So now, moving on, we get to meet a whole nother delicious hot mess express couple. Misha, who is 43 years old from Minnesota, and Nicola, who is 46 from Israel. Now listen to this, okay? Misha, she works full-time for the Catholic Church in pastoral care, but she was a former journalist. And not only that, but she was former sexy journalist, okay? So she used to live the glamorous life, was not raised religious at all, okay? But one day, while vacuuming her living room, she saw 2 suns suspended from the sky, and she thought she was having a heart attack. And she just started slinking to the ground, and a voice compelled her to pray. So she went straight to the Bible, prayed straight to the end, and that led her to the steps of the Catholic Church, and that led her to her conversion, to her spiritual awakening, and she is now a devout Catholic, but not as devout as Nicola, who is a 46-year-old virgin who devotes his life to God, still lives at home with his mom. He fishes down by the river and brings it home, to eat type guy, okay? Now, Nicola, he runs a Catholic website dedicated to Catholic novena prayers, okay? So these two are polar opposites, but they're both Catholics, very different type of Catholics, okay? And they swear that they're soulmates for each other. They met each other online about 7 years ago, and at the time, Misha had already went through her spiritual awakening, but in her words, she was still a baby in her faith, and she needed guidance. And here comes Nicola with his theories and his history and his wealth of knowledge, and they fell in love. But the problem is, they have 2 problems, okay? One, she needs to get an annulment. If she doesn't get an annulment, they're screwed. Secondly, his mother wants him to marry a virgin so, he could have children. Also, considering that he's a virgin and he doesn't have experience in girlfriends, I mean, the last woman he kissed was 16 years ago, Misha's kind of worried about, whether or not he could give the affection that she needs. And plus, she has 2 daughters, by the way. They're 16 and 19, and they're like, listen, is this dude going to think that he's going to be all judgmental with his religious and his God stuff? Like, say we get a boyfriend or whatever, is she's going to think that he's going to be judgmental with us? So let's see what happens. Misha's flying out to meet her soulmate. She's hoping that she's going to be engaged. And yeah, no sex until marriage, Misha. So you don't get to test out the goods until you're married. Let's see how this works out. Now, Tyray is still holding on to hope about Carmella, still holding on to it tightly. Oh my goodness. He is suffocating the blood flow of hope. Okay, no matter what anyone tells him. So his sister suggests that they do a reverse image search of Carmella's pictures. And of course, nothing comes up. So the producers show him the message from Carmella/Christian. And basically, the message admits that he was taking him for money this whole time. They're really poor, and he's really sorry, but he was taking him for money. But he does care for Tyray, and he does love Tyray. And just seeing the word love, Tyray is squeezing the blood supply out of Hope even more, because he swears there is some type of connection there. 4 years. Didn't waste his time. 4 years. His time, money, energy, everything. 4 years. There has to be some type of connection there. And his sister just really wishes that he would let it go. But no, Tyray is going to squeeze, and squeeze the blood supply out of Hope until there is no hope. Okay, so we shall see about that. Now, Jasmine and Gino, I'm going to leave for last because they were ridiculous AF, and I want to hit you guys with my Jasmine impersonation. So I'm going to leave them for last. Riley's on his way to the airport. Okay, he's going to Vietnam, even though I think he should cancel his ticket and go to, I don't know, somewhere else, all paid, resort. But that's my opinion. So he's packing a suitcase full of presents. It's Violet's birthday. He bought her some pearls. He's keeping the PI, though, in his back pocket in case he doesn't need the PI. He's going to ask Violet his questions himself. But if, he feels like she's being shady, he's going to keep the PI in his back pocket. Okay. If you need to keep an option of a private investigator in your back pocket, that further my theory that you shouldn't go on the trip to meet this woman. Okay. But that's just me. So anyway, his friend Alexia is driving him to the airport, dog sitting for him while he's gone. And when he tells Alexia about the text messages that Violet sent to his dad, she doesn't like it. She doesn't like it at all. And even she says the cracks of, cracks in the foundation of trust is broken. This is not good. But she will support her friend. And her friend is making his way to Vietnam to meet Violet. And we get to meet Violet. Violet is 42 years old. She's a math teacher. She loves children. She's sweet, but she gets her way. Kind of sounds like me. She doesn't want to force a man to, she doesn't want a man to force her to live the way that he wants her to live. She's going to live the way she wants to live. Sounds good to me, girl. So she's sitting down with her friends. And even though her family knows about Riley, until now, her friends have no clue. So she's telling her friends about him, as she tells her friends about, the 128 times that they fought, broke up, blocked each other, got back together. And her friends are like, whoa, I don't think this is good. Be careful. And this doesn't seem like a good temperament in a relationship, but we shall see. Now, Jasmine and Gino, all I have to say is this is ridiculous. So they go back to Jasmine's apartment, and immediately, Gino was ding. So Jasmine's like, look. Oh, no, wait. I want to go back to the cab ride. So they're in the cab, okay? And Gino's like, I love Panama. I love the landscape. And Jasmine's like, do you like my landscape? Look at my landscape right here. And Gino couldn't care less. I swear, Gino couldn't care less about the boobs. Gino's like looking out the window of the cab. He's like, yeah, I like your landscape. And then he looks out the window of the cab. So they get to her $3,000 a month apartment that Gino was paying for. And her sister's there. Coco the dog is so happy to see him. So he's like, wow, this is a great apartment. And, when Gino was talking about that he's afraid that he wouldn't be able to keep up Jasmine's, standard of living, and they show how Gino lived. It's like, Gino couldn't give a shit if she was living in like a basement. So he walks in and he's like, oh, this is a great place. And Jasmine's like, I really hope that he loves this place that I picked. And, Gino couldn't give a shit, right? So Gino's like, oh, yeah, this is great. So he sees the view. And then Jasmine's like, oh, this is, my neighbors are like the filthy rich. And he's like, this is $3,000. And, she's like starting to hit him. Like, she has really expensive taste. It's going to be really expensive to maintain her in the U.S. You can see like the wheels turning in his head. So she's like, oh, do you want to feel the bed? Come on, let's feel the bed. Sex is like the furthest thing from his mind right now. He is not getting hard at all. Okay. So he's like, sure, I'm going to lay down in the bed. So she's like trying to like massage him, and he pretends he's sleeping. Grown ass man actually pretends he's sleeping to avoid sex. Okay. And she's like, Gino, don't you want me, Gino? Gino, what's wrong? Don't you want me? And he's like, yes, but I want to take a nap. So he takes a nap. And then Jasmine decides that they're going to reset because she's waited so long for her man to come to Panama. And it's so important for her to make her man happy. Okay, guys? Now listen. It is important for her to make her man happy. So she is going to make her man a meal. Okay? We're going to reset the evening. Doesn't matter that Gino turned her down again for sex. Even though she hasn't seen him in so long and she's so fucking horny and she wants to have sex. But it's okay. She's going to make dinner for him. We're going to reset and she's going to make dinner for him. So she decides that they're going to make plant-based meatballs. And she needs Gino to peel the potatoes. And now, you guys, we have the second most ridiculous fight in 90-day history next to Darcy and Jesse cutting steak on the bias. So Gino's like, where's the peeler? And Jasmine's like, I don't have a peeler. Peel it with a knife. Where's the cutting board? I don't have a cutting board. And he's like, you don't have the proper cooking equipment. Gino's like, I can't work like this. You don't have the proper cooking equipment. And Jasmine's like, well, the apartment didn't come with the proper cooking equipment. And all I kept thinking was, for $3,000 a month in rent, it didn't come with a peeler and a fucking cutting board. But hey, that's just me. Okay, so Jasmine's like, what do you want me to do? Starve? Because I don't have a peeler and a cutting board. The only moment I agree with Jasmine, I'm adapting. Hey, I've peeled potatoes with a knife. That's how my mother taught me to peel potatoes. So I don't see anything wrong with that. Okay. So it was the most ridiculous fight since Darcy and Jesse fought over cutting the steak on the bias. That's all I have to say. Okay. So then she asked him to peel a carrot, and you would have thought that she was asking him to cut his wee-wee off or something. Okay, Gino, I'm just asking you to peel potatoes, not perform surgery, peel a carrot. No, I am not peeling without a cutting board, without a peeler. And he like storms out. It was the most ridiculous fucking fight ever. And Jasmine starts sobbing. I mean, not just like regular sobbing, telenovela sobbing times 100. I just wanted to make my man a man. It was so ridiculous. I can't even tell you how ridiculous it was. I mean, she couldn't even produce the tears. That's how ridiculous it was. I just wanted to take a meal from my man and make him happy. I mean, Gino's like, why are you crying? I just wanted to cry. How many more episodes of this? That's all I have to say. How many more episodes of Gino and Jasmine? And there's still couples that we haven't been introduced to, like Stadler and Dempsey. I mean, I don't know. Please, less Gino and Jasmine. That's all I have to say. So, thank you so much, guys, for watching me. And please check out wordonthestreetreality.com. I just dropped an article about Molly's new boo, the prison kingpin. Is she going to try out for Love After Lockup next? You never know. Check out my article, please. Wordonthestreetreality.com. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you don't already. Hit that like button. Please hit the notification bell and share my video with a friend or 10. Thank you so much. I appreciate all my new subscribers, and for all my loyal followers and subs, I love you guys so much. Mwah. See you next week. Bye.